I want to tell you the story about a man I will call Emmanuel. And Emmanuel came to Canada with a dream that many of us share. We want to have a better life. We want to have more opportunities. I've heard people ask me this question, Ajiri, why did you move to Canada? I wanted to have a brighter future for my family. And this is why we work so hard. And Emmanuel worked so hard. He got a good job. Everything was working perfectly for him. He got a new car from the dealership. And guess what? Emmanuel pays his bills on time. He even goes on vacation, sends money back home every month to his siblings, to his parents. And from outside, if you look at Emmanuel, he looks very successful. But when I sat down to review his finances, I discovered something very surprising. At age 41, he had very little wealth built, no clear investment strategy, no wealth building system, and guess what? No legacy plan. This was very surprising. And when I asked Emmanuel, why? He said something I have never ever forgotten. Ajiri, nobody told me there was another way. That statement alone, it hit me so hard because I realized Emmanuel wasn't alone. I've worked with over 1,000 people across Canada. I've heard different versions of the same sentence from immigrants across Canada and people who are really hardworking. They are responsible, very educated, I tell you, and they earn good income. And even very ambitious in many ways. But guess what? They feel stuck financially. And that's a huge, huge challenge. Not because they are lazy. Because I was one of them, right? I know what I went through. And not because they're making bad decisions, but because nobody ever taught them the financial system and how it actually works. Invisible money. So, mistake number one, nobody taught us the rules of the financial game. See, creating wealth is a game. Finance, it's a game. If you don't know that it's a game, most times you're going to be knocked out of this game. So you need to understand the rules. When most immigrants land in Canada, they are focused first on survival. They want to get a job, pay their rent, build credit. They try to learn the system. They support their family back home when they're a bit stable. Sometimes people do two, three jobs just to get by. And they do whatever it takes to get established. And honestly, that's exactly what we should do when you first move into a new country. For example, nobody teaches you how taxes work. You just file your taxes when it's tax season. Oh, look for an accountant or use an app to file your taxes. Nobody teaches you how investment works. Nobody teaches you retirement planning and how that works. Nobody teaches you how wealth transfer works in Canada, how wealthy families structure their finances. So imagine this. Imagine playing soccer for 10 years without understanding where the goalposts are, right? You can run harder than everyone else. You can even sweat more than everyone else, but you're not getting points. That's exactly what happens financially. Many immigrants, they work incredibly hard, but nobody explains the rules of the game to them. And the wealthy doesn't really work that hard, right? They just simply understand the systems better. So, what are the money systems you need to understand here in Canada? Because if you're not learning how the system works, guess what? The system is working against you. So, when you understand how taxes work, how earning more, and how to leverage tax advantage strategies, it changes everything for you. Second mistake that a lot of people make when they come into Canada is confusing income with wealth. This is one of the biggest mistakes I see because a lot of people, they earn good money, six figures. I've met people with very high income, especially among very hard working immigrants. You earn very well, you work very hard. Most people When they earn so much, they start building houses back home. They get promotions. They start planning to relocate back home. We start enjoying the rewards of all our efforts. We buy a better car. We live in a larger home. There's nothing wrong with all of this, right? Don't get me wrong. But here's where many people never learn, right? When it comes to all of this, income is not wealth. And that's the reality. Income is not wealth. So let me say it again, income is not wealth, right? So I've met people making a lot of money and yet they are still financially stressed. And I've met business owners who earn great commissions, great cash flow. And guess what? They have little wealth. So why is this? Because wealth isn't what you earn. So wealth is what you keep. Don't forget this. It's not what comes in, it is how much of it you keep. So wealth is what you own also. And wealth is what continues to grow even when you're not working. That's the key here. You want to create assets. So your income is meant to create assets. So when I started showing Emmanuel different financial concepts, how to create assets with the income he received, his mindset changed. We talked about leveraging TFSAs. We started looking at real estate. We started looking at estate planning. The wealthy understand something many people will never learn. And this is how money should be assigned, right? Money should have an assignment. And that's the key because every dollar you earn should have a job. Some dollars will work today, some dollars will work for tomorrow, and some dollars will work for your future generations. That's how wealth is built. Learning how to assign every dollar you earn. So it's not about your income. It's actually about intentional planning. That's the key here to creating wealth. So let's look at mistake number 3, building income without building a legacy. This is another important thing, and this one is very personal. Very personal because I've heard parents tell me that I brought my kids to Canada and that's all. That's the best I can do for them. Let them hustle for themselves. Because most immigrants didn't come here just for themselves, remember? Every time you ask people, they tell you, oh, I came in here because of my family. Oh, because of our future generation. Oh, my children, I don't want them to suffer the way I suffered. But yet, there's no strategy for the next generation. Building income answers this question. How do I take care of my family today? But building a legacy answers this question. What happens when I'm no longer here? What if life is short and I've created wealth to this extent? What happens to my legacy? How can I protect my legacy for the next generation? Think about it for a moment. If something were to happen to you tomorrow, would your family know where everything is? I know some of you have shut down. You thought I want to talk about life insurance. Would they know where your bank accounts are? Would they know how many bank accounts you have? Would they know what your wishes are? Would they know your assets? These aren't easy conversations, I tell you, but they are important conversations to have because I've seen families struggle through situations that could have been prevented with just proper planning in place. This is why things like wills, having beneficiary designation, estate planning, having a properly structured life insurance strategy, these are the points where all of these things become very important. Not because people are expecting the worst things to happen, just because people are responsible, right? And they want to protect the people you claim you love, the people you claim you came to Canada for. So, legacy isn't something you think about when you are old, because some people will say, okay, when I get there, I'm going to plan for it. But legacy begins the moment someone starts depending on you. So, let's bring this all together. The 3 biggest money problems I see most immigrants make in Canada are: number 1, nobody teaches us the rules of the financial game. We need to learn the rules, not just the game, but the rules of the game, right? Number 2, we focus on income instead of building assets, which is, we've talked about it, right? And number 3, We build income but never create a legacy plan. Remember Emmanuel from the beginning of our video. The one thing that changed his life wasn't a product. It wasn't an investment strategy. It wasn't even an insurance policy. The one thing that changed everything for Emmanuel was awareness. He finally understood the system. Because once you understand the system, guess what? You begin to make different decisions. You begin to make different decisions that will create different outcomes. That's what invisible money is all about. No secrets, right? No secrets. It's not shortcuts and it's not a get rich quick scheme. I thought financial strategies and concepts most immigrants never are exposed to. So if this video resonates with you, comment the word invisible. I'd love to know where you're watching from and what part of your financial journey you currently are. And if you would like to learn more about wealth building strategies, I teach immigrant families and entrepreneurs. So check out the resources in the description below. Remember this: hard work gets you into the game, but financial education helps you win it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video.